ARMS is not a dead game, as it has a very dedicated fan base that keeps it alive, and in this video, I just want to talk directly to that fan base. You'll be facing a challenge in terms of this game staying alive. A multiplayer focused game is really only dead when no one is playing it online anymore. And in 2018, I think the ARMS community will truly be tested in that regard, and as much as I love this game, as much as I love ARMS, I think this might mark the beginning of the end. So let's have a discussion on whether or not ARMS is in trouble. Now, let me preface this by saying I absolutely love ARMS, and I still play it time to time, and possibly I plan on making more videos for the game in the future. But if you want to know how I feel about the current state of the game, check out my other ARMS related video, The ARMS Dilemma, where I talk about that for a bit. The reason why I believe the ARMS community is truly about to be tested in 2018 is basically two major reasons, but before I explain that, I just want to mention that I could be totally wrong on this. These issues may not be big. They may not be a major issue for the livelihood of the game, and these things may very well not affect the fanbase that ARMS currently has. In no way am I making a prediction with this video, nor am I hoping for ARMS to die by the end of 2018. I want ARMS to succeed, and with Yabuki himself stating that he'd be open to making an ARMS 2 someday, I really would love to see that, as it's exactly what I asked for. However, I can't help but feel the need to share my concerns and see what the rest of the community thinks about it. Maybe I'm just being a little pessimistic, but I just felt like it would be the smart thing to do to share it with everyone. First off, 2018 will be the first year of ARMS that will have no major content added to the game. Now, this is obvious, as I'm pretty sure everyone knows this already, but this isn't really the reason I believe the game will suffer, but rather just something that will sort of add on top of the bigger issue the game is about to face. The lack of content updates has been, well, a thing for, I guess, months now, but I'm sure the hardcore ARMS fanbase is not only well aware of this, but it hasn't caused a huge decrease in players either. It's something that I think won't really affect ARMS until something else comes along to truly test ARMS' staying power. I think it's pretty obvious. What exactly would be the very thing that would do this? But here's my fear of what's going to affect ARMS in the long run. I think, and I could be wrong, that Super Smash Bros. Will kill ARMS. As I'm sure everyone knows, Super Smash Bros. For Switch was announced and will release in 2018. Now, I'm sure many will argue that these two games are two very different games, and I agree to that. They are. But let's take a look at how another game affected ARMS quite a bit. ARMS, as a multiplayer-focused fighting game, had released and sold pretty well, with a ton of people playing it. People seemed pretty positive to it at first, and maybe it was just me, but while some people got bored and stopped playing, many stayed and continued to play the game. It wasn't until Splatoon 2 released that I really personally noticed a drop between fans and some places online, meaning forums and whatnot. While Splatoon 2 was literally nothing like ARMS, it was another multiplayer focused game, and most people can only spend time getting good and improving themselves at really one multiplayer game at a time, and thus ARMS' popularity dropped when Splatoon 2 released. Keep in mind, this is a personal theory on what I believe happened, and so is basically the entire video. I don't want this to come off negative, but Splatoon is a much larger beast than ARMS, and so I think the player base dropped due to this. So now, you might be thinking, what does this have to do with Super Smash Bros? Well, I think it's pretty fucking simple. ARMS, as of now, is still alive and kicking after Splatoon, but not without its fair share of battle scars. But now, it's not just about to compete with another major first-party online game, but another fighting game, and Nintendo's biggest one. Pokken could have affected ARMS, sure, but even Pokken itself is struggling making a big splash with the overall fighting game community. Pokken and ARMS are both kept alive by their fan bases, not necessarily the general public, which is fantastic and all, but Smash? Smash is evil already. Smash is well known and full of gaming's biggest faces. ARMS and Pokken are going to have a tough time, but more so ARMS, I believe. ARMS is unique, and nothing like any other fighting game out there, so I truly hope it manages to survive, but with a new, massive, online fighting game about to be released onto the Switch, and with no new content being added to ARMS on top of this, I just can't help but hold a pessimistic view for ARMS' future here. Pokken can probably scrape by being similar to some other fighters, which I believe was some Naruto games, while also having the Pokemon name attached to it. ARMS is a new IP. ARMS doesn't get that benefit to it. I sincerely hope I am wrong about this, and ARMS' fanbase continues to thrive even after Smash Bros. Releases. But 2018 is definitely going to test their might. I just hope that my theory is way off, like extremely fucking wrong, but who knows. Maybe all that will happen is that maybe the game will get a slight player drop or something. But maybe a big player drop at first can happen, and maybe people will slowly come back to ARMS, but I'm not really sure. It's really hard to say from where we're standing right now. That's all I have time for today. Thanks for hearing me out on this video, guys. I'm very rarely negative in my videos, but I think I might have had maybe 2 instances where I was pretty negative about something. But I just wanted to get this concern off my chest. What do you guys think about my theory? Am I wrong? Please tell me I am, because I don't want ARMS to die. I love this game too much for it to just let that happen. Consider this a possible warning to the ARMS community, and maybe not a warning, maybe also just a theory or of someone who's scared to see one of his favorite games be challenged in such a way. But comment down below and start a discussion with me. I'd love to hear all about it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.